See, in this video, let's talk about Bohr's atom model. This Bohr's atom model, it's part of quantum physics or quantum mechanics, or even if you are interested in quantum computing, this topic is very important. Let's start with the first thought atom model was proposed by J.J. Thomson. He told like atom is a spherical shape, a positively charged spherical sphere, and electrons are embedded on that sphere. That was Thomson's atom model. After that, Rutherford conducted the gold foil experiment, and he understood atom is almost empty. 95% or 99% of the atom is empty, and the mass of the atom is concentrated on the center called the nucleus. The same applies to our universe as well. 99% of our universe is empty. All the galaxies, stars, and all these things, it contains, it is of only 1%. Okay, so Rutherford's atom model. What is Rutherford's atom model? According to Rutherford, atom has a positively charged center called nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus. The necessary centripetal force for the circular motion is given by electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electrons. This was Rutherford's atom model. But scientists asked one question to Rutherford. The question was, if the electrons are continuously revolving around the nucleus, its energy will be radiated. Why energy is radiated? Because when a charged particle is at rest, there is only electric field around the particle. When the charged particle is in motion, there is both electric field and magnetic field. That means electromagnetic waves. So when a charged particle is rotating around the nucleus like electron, it will continuously emit electromagnetic waves. Finally, its energy reduces and the electrons will fall into the nucleus. It takes a spiral path. Electrons takes a spiral path and finally fall into the nucleus. That is impossible. Rutherford could not explain this. That's why Bohr's atom model comes into picture. So what is Bohr's atom model? See, Niels Bohr proposed his model. It contains three postulates. The first postulate is Bohr accepted Rutherford's atom model. That is, atom is having a positively charged center called nucleus, and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. And the necessary centripetal force is given by the electrostatic force of attraction. That is correct. The first postulate means Rutherford's atom model only. Then the mathematical equation for the first postulate, the equation for centripetal force is mv square by r. M is the mass, v is the velocity, and r is the radius of the orbit. mv square by r is equal to the centripetal force. If we are taking hydrogen atom, it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into E square by R square. E is the charge of the electron. Epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Permittivity means the ability to transmit electric field or electric lines of force. Okay, R is the radius of the orbit. This is the mathematical equation for the first postulate. M v square by r is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into q square by r square. Here for hydrogen atom, it is E square by r square. E is the charge of the electron. Charge of the electron is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. You know that. Now the second postulate is, see what Niels Bohr is telling is suggesting is, Electrons cannot have any orbit. They can have only particular orbits known as stationary orbits. They can have only particular orbits known as stationary orbits. As long as these electrons are in these stationary orbits, they cannot radiate energy, and those electrons won't fall into the nucleus. And there is a condition for this stationary orbit, that is, the angular momentum of the electrons is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. H is the Planck's constant. So the equation, mathematical equation will be mvr, angular momentum is mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. This is the second postulate. See, this postulate, even it is proved by the mathematical equation of de Broglie. De Broglie's matter waves, you may be familiar with that. See, matter waves, what de Broglie is suggesting is waves are associated with matter. Such waves are known as matter waves. The equation for matter waves is also same. When you derive the equation, when you write the equation, it will come as mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. We can prove that. So this is the second postulate of Niels Bohr. The second postulate of Niels Bohr is electrons cannot have any orbit. They can have only certain particular orbits known as stationary orbits. When these electrons move through the stationary orbits, the angular momentum is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi, where h is the Planck's constant, m is the mass, v is the velocity, r is the radius of the orbit. You understood. Now the third postulates, see, these electrons radiate energy. When it will radiate energy? When it jumps from a higher orbit to a lower orbit. The higher orbit is having high energy. The lower orbit is having lower energy. So when it jumps from a higher orbit to a lower orbit, it radiates energy. When the electrons jump from a lower orbit to a higher orbit, it absorbs energy. So we can write it as, for example, if E2 is the higher orbit and E1 is the lower orbit, then E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. H nu means h is the Planck's constant and nu is the frequency. Energy is, that is the Max Planck's quantum theory. What is Planck's quantum theory? When energy is emitted, it is the discrete packets known as quanta. The energy of one photon is h nu. So we can write it as E2 minus E1 is equal to n into h nu. So this is the Niels Bohr's third postulate. So that's all about Bohr's atom model. Thank you.